Have you ever wondered why you can know something isn't true and still feel like it is? You can know you're safe, know everything is probably going to be okay, know you're overthinking, know you've had this exact same fear 400 times and somehow survived every single one of them. And yet your brain goes, nope, we're doing this again. I had a conversation today that gave me one of the best visual explanations for this I've ever heard. We were talking about neural pathways, basically, the routes our brains create through repeated thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and experiences. And my coach compared them to water slides. Stay with me because this is actually really cool. Imagine your brain is this enormous water park. When you're born, there aren't these huge, elaborate slides everywhere, but throughout your life, you start building them. Something happens, you have a thought, you react a certain way, and a little pathway gets created. Then something similar happens, and you have the same thought, same fear, same reaction, and you go down that slide again. Every time you ride it, that pathway becomes a little easier to access, a little smoother, faster, until eventually you don't even have to decide to get on the damn thing. Your brain basically throws you down it. And some of these slides have been under construction for years. Maybe yours is something bad is going to happen, or people are judging me. I'm going to screw this up. I'm not good enough. They haven't answered me, so they're upset with me. My body feels weird, so something must be wrong. Whatever yours is, you might have ridden that slide thousands of times. So when something happens that eventually or even slightly resembles an old situation, your brain goes, oh, I know this one. And boom, down you go. Which explains something I've struggled to understand for a long time. Why can't we just tell ourselves to stop? Why can't somebody with anxiety just say, everything's fine? Why can't somebody who constantly criticizes themselves simply decide, I'm gonna love myself now? Because you're not necessarily fighting one thought. You're dealing with a pathway your brain has practiced over and over and over again. And here's the part that really interests me: the brain can change. That's neuroplasticity. You can build another water slide. At first, though, that new slide sucks. It's tiny, it's awkward, there's barely any water running through it. Meanwhile, your old anxiety slide is basically a six-story Disney attraction with flashing lights and a fast pass. Of course, your brain wants to use that one. It's familiar, it's efficient. Brains love efficiency. So maybe something happens and your automatic thought is, this is going to be a disaster. That's the old slide. But then you catch it and instead you say, wait, I don't actually know what's going to happen yet. Now, that may seem ridiculously small, but you just took a different route. Next time, I can handle what happens. Different route. Next time, I felt this before and it passed. Different route. Again, 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 and slowly, that little pathetic water slide starts getting some water. This is one of the reasons I've become so fascinated with meditation, mindfulness, therapy, nervous system work, and all of this stuff. Not because I think we can sit in a room, think happy thoughts, and magically create a perfect life. That's not what I'm talking about. Terrible things happen. Life is unpredictable. People get sick. Relationships change. We lose people. We get rejected. We screw things up. Thinking positive doesn't make us immune to being human. but our brains are constantly interpreting what's happening around us. And those interpretations affect how we experience our lives. Two people can walk into almost the exact same situation, and their brains can tell them completely different stories about it. That's wild when you really think about it. And I think there's something hopeful in realizing not every thought that appears in your head deserves to be believed. Sometimes it's just an old water slide. Your brain built it because at some point, maybe it thought that route protected you. Maybe worrying helped you feel prepared. Maybe being hyper aware helped you navigate an unpredictable environment. Maybe assuming the worst meant you couldn't be blindsided. Those pathways weren't necessarily created because there was something wrong with you. Your brain learned, and that's what brains do. But something being learned doesn't mean it has to remain your default forever. So here's something I want you to hear today. Um, when you catch yourself falling into one of those really familiar thought patterns, don't immediately try to destroy it. Notice it. Oh, I know this slide. That's it. Notice where it's trying to take you. And then ask yourself, is there another route I could take? Not the most positive route, not some bullshit affirmation you don't believe, just a slightly different one. Instead of everything's going to fall apart, maybe I don't know what's going to happen. Instead of I can't handle this. Maybe this is uncomfortable, but I've handled uncomfortable things before. Instead of everyone thinks I'm an idiot, maybe I actually have no idea what anyone else is thinking. Small changes, new routes, new repetitions. Because maybe changing your life doesn't always begin with some giant transformation. Maybe sometimes it starts with noticing which water slide your brain keeps throwing you down and choosing whenever you can to build another one. You don't have to bulldoze the old slide overnight. Just stop assuming it's the only way down. And the more I learn about the brain, the more incredible I think the whole thing is. So I'm probably going to start bringing more of this into the podcast. The brain, neuroplasticity, nervous system, why we think the way we think, but explained like normal human beings sitting around trying to figure themselves out. Because I'm figuring it out too. And if you're interested in figuring it out with me, hit follow. We've apparently got some new water slides to build. Thanks for listening.